Hi guys, how's it going? This is Guarded Trace. Alright, it's a new year, and there's also a new arc in Dragon Ball Super. That would be the highly anticipated Universe Survival arc. Now, when we were first hinted towards this story arc, this was way back during the Universe 6 tournament arc, where Goku befriended Zeno, and then soon it was announced that we would have a big tournament that all of the universes would be involved in. Now, there has been so much talk regarding this tournament. Like, for example, there has been a lot of speculations that this could perhaps be the last story arc in Dragon Ball Super. However, that's just really not the case, you know. There's been no announcement that this would be the last story arc. Two, Dragon Ball Super is one of Toei's cash cow series, so as long as the series is making money, they're not going to just stop it. So any talk about this being the last story arc is merely speculation, and you really shouldn't take it seriously. The thing about this story arc is that there has been a lot of talk that perhaps this story arc will ultimately redeem Dragon Ball Super as a franchise. First of all, redeem is a strong word. Because one thing you have to take note about Dragon Ball Super is there's been many instances where we thought a story arc would have been really huge, we thought it would have been big, but then it turned out to be a disappointment in the end. And when you guys are talking about redeeming this franchise, this is what that would mean. That would mean that this story arc would be so good that it would make this otherwise mediocre series good or recommendable. And one thing you gotta take note is it's a bit late for that when you think about it. At the time of this video, Dragon Ball Super is up to 73 episodes. We have passed GT in episode length. GT had 64 episodes. So we have already gone past the GT threshold. Right now, we are almost halfway to the amount of episodes the original Dragon Ball series had. So don't you think it's a bit late in the game for this franchise to be redeemed? And another thing, just people are kind of falling into the same trap that they always been, because since the beginning we've been promised a lot about Dragon Ball Super that we've just been let down time and time again. Ever since the beginning. When we first get Dragon Ball Super, it's like, wow, the first bit of Dragon Ball anime in like 20 years. Oh my god, this is going to be so awesome. And what does it do? It starts off rehashing the two most recent movies, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. It starts off as nothing more than a rehash of those. Despite the fact that those movies are fucking recent. We got Battle of Gods back in 2013. And then we got Resurrection F in 2014. And now we get Dragon Ball Super in 2015, and it's telling those two recent movies. You see the problem there? It's a longer, more drawn out, slower paced version of those two movies. That sucks, and we didn't need that. That means like the first 30 episodes of Super were just dedicated to retelling the movies. And then finally we get to our own original material. Super has its own original stuff where we start the Universe 6 tournament arc. So it's like, okay, Super is really going to start here, right? But that was a disappointment too. That was just such a disappointment too, because that tournament was all about Goku and Vegeta. Like, Piccolo didn't matter. Majin Buu's fat ass fell asleep. And Monica turned out to be Mr. Satan 2.0. And then we get some fillery bullshit where there was that purple copy Vegeta, or whatever the fuck that little bullshit arc was. And then we get to the Future Trunks arc, which I thought that was a bad idea for the get-go because, well, Trunks already had his happy ending at the end of the Android saga of Dragon Ball Z. Why are we overriding his happy ending? And why are we proceeding to royally fuck up his world as well as him as a character? Because he's gotten himself a tragic case of the Gary Stews. And I tore the ending of that arc a new one in my rant a few weeks back. It was like a month back. It was just no need to have this arc. It was just no need for that arc, and as a matter of fact, that was probably the worst arc that we have gotten so far. And then with Zamasu just turned out to be a very disappointing villain in the end. So it's just that is where I felt that it was just too late to redeem Super. So now we have this arc. Now, I do want to have optimism for this arc. I don't want to just be a cynical asshole. But I'm just going by what history has shown us so far. Don't get your hopes up about anything from Dragon Ball Super. If this turns out to be a good arc, then it's a good arc. If not, then at least my hopes wasn't up too high. One thing about this Universe Survival arc, and especially why people thought that this would be the last arc, is how grand of a scale it's going to be. It's going to be all of the universes in a tournament together, and it's like you lose, your universe gets destroyed, so it's like the stakes are really high. These are much higher stakes than they've ever been, and it's something that's on a much grander scale from anything that we've ever gotten in any Dragon Ball series. So it makes you wonder, what could they possibly do past this? We don't know, but they haven't told us that this was going to be the last arc either. So when we have the team for Universe 7, it consists of Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Android 17, Android 18, Krillin, Tien, Master Roshi, and Majin Buu. Here's the thing about that. There are huge gaps in power among the team members. So one thing that I'm thinking this arc could potentially be showcasing is the fact that it's Goku and Vegeta who are pretty much going to be strong enough to beat everyone, and everyone else is not going to matter. Because, that's what the Universe 6 tournament arc really was. Because, you have Goku and Vegeta, they're Super Saiyan gods, they're far stronger than any of the other teammates, so it's like, nobody else even comes close to them. So they're in a class of their own, and then I guess the next tier down would perhaps be the grouping of Majin Buu, Gohan, and Piccolo, as they're very, very strong. Now, it seems like Gohan may have resumed his training. It looks like we may be getting Mystic Gohan back. And potentially we may be getting Super Saiyan Ikari Gohan. So, we don't know. It's just everything is speculation at this point. But perhaps this will be the arc where Gohan gets to showcase that he's a badass again. And then there's Majin Buu. Here's the thing. I hope your fat ass don't fall asleep during this arc, because it would be a fucking waste of time you being there if you fall asleep. And then you have, perhaps the next tier down would be Androids 17 and 18. As there's been no indication that they've gotten stronger since, the events of Dragon Ball Z. As, being cyborgs, they can't train to get stronger, so perhaps they get, upgrades to their power cores to make them stronger. Like perhaps Bulma tinkers with them a bit to make them stronger. That could be something that, possible. It's possible that they can make them stronger. Look at the bullshit that Bulma makes. She can make a time machine, so I'm sure she could perhaps make them stronger. Like and then you have the bottom tier, which would be the human characters. So you're the likes of Krillin, Tien, and Roshi. Now, one thing I noticed is Yamcha's not going to be here. I guess Yamcha was really serious about the "I'm done fighting" thing. Kind of sucks, because, I would have liked to have seen Yamcha try to have, like, one last moment of, hey, I'm still relevant, guys. I can still fight. But I guess he got his thing back during that, baseball-themed episode where he was the focus. So I guess he got his thing already. And, like, I done a video on that. It's funny as hell, that whole episode and just everything in general about that. But hey, Yamcha has baseball, and at least Yamcha's getting a spin-off manga, so everything's good for Yamcha so far. And then we have Krillin, Tien, and Roshi. Thing is, these guys will be like the bottom tier. These guys are not even as strong as Super Saiyans. So it's like you have these guys who are just greatly going to be overpowered by their teammates. So it's like, how exactly is this going to work? Is this going to be more of a skill-based tournament? Are we going to make this a more skill-based show? Because one thing that we know about Dragon Ball Z, this has been the golden rule of the Dragon Ball series since Dragon Ball Z, ever since Raditz arrived on Earth. Power levels are everything. It doesn't matter how skilled of a fighter you are, all that matters is who has the higher power level. So it's like, my power level's 5,000, yours is 10,000. By law, I lose. So one thing I'm hoping is that this is more of a skill-based tournament, and it looks like this could potentially be the case, like more skills and techniques are going to be utilized, where it's not just a matter of, hey, I'm got a much higher power level than all of you, I just one-shot you. Because, that's boring. Because if this is just going to be more of the same of what we got from the Universe 6 tournament, where it's just Goku and Vegeta who's the ones who are just strong enough to take on everyone, and just all the focus, all the spotlight is just focused on them, then that would be boring as fuck. It's like, what's the point of the rest of the characters? That means the cast is not interchangeable when it comes to fighters. It's just these two, and then everyone else is just pretty much furniture in the background. Because that's the case of everyone. Like Android 18, I'm so happy that she's going to be fighting, because she's just been on the sidelines, because, she's, mentioned that she would go along to fight alongside Krillin and the other Z fighters during, the Resurrection F arc, because, she even points out that she's a lot stronger than Krillin. But, he told them, just stick behind, because, she let him do it because, it was kind of like him out with the boys. So that's why she just stayed out of that after the fact. But I'm happy that she's going to get to fight, because, when it comes to female fighters of the series, we get them, and then we don't get much of them. Because, she's, the strongest female fighter that we've gotten in the series, so it's like, it would be good to see her fight. And then Android 17, we haven't seen him in a long time, and pretty much if you haven't been looking at, supplemental material, wouldn't even know what the fuck he's been up to. So it's, good to see that he's back, and, I hope to see more of them, together, more 17 and 18, to see them to be more prominently shown. And then of course, Piccolo, love to see him kick ass again. And then, Gohan, because seriously, Gohan needs this. He needs to kick ass again. Because he was destined for greatness, and then Toriyama just threw him under the bus. It looks like this could be what Dragon Ball needs right now, if it's going to showcase that, hey, all of these fighters are still relevant. So even if they're not as crazy strong as Goku and Vegeta, it's going to get to the point where strength doesn't matter. It's skills that matter. Because I hope that's the case, because if not, then this is just a fucking waste of time. But anyway, the Universe Survival Tournament, it looks very promising, but it is far too soon for us to be getting our hopes up about this. let's just wait until we actually get the arc, until the saga actually starts and we start getting deeper into it so we see what all the ramifications are and pretty much what this would mean for Dragon Ball Super in the future. So at this point, I just say, you know, it is far too late for Super to be redeemed. At least it can get to the point where it'll be more tolerable to watch, but to say it's redeemed, you gotta understand that is a fucking strong ass word. It won't just be simply redeemed like that. It's not that simple because we haven't been having much to really look forward to about Super. So anyway, what do you guys think of this universe survival arc? Do you think that it's going to be very good? Do you think that we're going to get something that was as good as the hype claims it would be from out of Dragon Ball Super, or do you think that this is just going to be more of the same that we have been getting for all of this time? So be sure to let me know everything in the comments below, and also like and subscribe for more content to come. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook, and also give me any suggestions on videos you may want to see me do. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, and I hope you're having a good year too. And I'll see you guys later. This is Trace, signing out.